I do have to apologize. Usually, I do try to get a Death Stranding stream in the afternoon, and today was just way too crazy. My one son is going to like an acting camp that is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I couldn't really find a time to stream where I could get the whole 2.5 hours of the ending in, and still apply to all these jobs I have to apply to and do all these different things to try to make sure that I have some kind of revenue coming in, um, because it's getting down to the wire in 2 weeks. If I don't find a job, or if I don't reach affiliate and start making money here, um, it's going to be hard to provide for my family. So I had to take a little time today to do a couple things, and unfortunately, that meant that the the final 2 hours of the story of this game was not able to be shown during the day. I know I have a few folks in Europe and I think Scandinavian countries, and I think it's in that area. I think Norway, Finland, something around there. Um, oh yeah, things will get better. I'm sure. There's always something on the horizon. Um, but anyway, some of the people that have been showing up on the Wednesday afternoon streams, I know this hour doesn't work for them. So unfortunately, oh, I'm getting a raid. Thank you, Lost in Oxford. Thank you so much. One message was deleted by moderator Nightbot. Oh, Nightbot, I'm gonna have to turn you off. Nightbot, you need to chill. You need to relax, Nightbot. That's the second that's the second time Nightbot has just penalized someone for using like an emote or something. And Nightbot timed out Noob's mom for 5 seconds. Stop spamming emotes on by Nightbot. Oh my goodness gracious. Hi Laura Rose, thanks for coming in. Thank you, Lost in Oxford, for the raid. So very nice to see you all here. I don't know why Twitch won't recognize that I have four um, viewers that just came in with the raid. It still says two viewers, but I'm not going to look at that number today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick it off, and we are going to watch the final 2 hours or so of the Death Stranding story. For the rest of hi, hello. Oh, just one. Okay, excellent. Takes a second to update. Oh yeah. Viewer storm is up too. Awesome. Um. Anyway, we're gonna jump into this. Got a nice big cup of coffee, and if you're not familiar with this story, if you haven't been following along, I don't know how I could summarize it in even 2 hours, basically. Oh, thank you for the follow, Lost in Oxford. So very nice. Thank you so much. Um, it's a dystopian story of fiction in America where something called the Death Stranding. Okay, well we'll have to fix that. Disable auto. No, just don't. Something called the Death Stranding happened, and now when people die, if you don't burn their bodies, they explode and cause what's called a void out, which kills everyone else in the area, and then the dead souls roam the earth trying to um, make more dead souls, I guess. Um, and and because of that, um, Norman Reedus, who plays Sam Bridges Porter, um, right here, he happens to have um, a couple special powers, I guess you could call. He's a repatriate, which means if he dies, he can come back to life. And he also suffers from a rare disease that if somebody touches him, their handprint or fingerprint lasts on his body. And he also, so you can see kind of handprints on him. That's just from whenever he was touched by anybody. So he doesn't like to be touched very often, but he has been touched now and again. In the storyline, he's learned to live with it. We will get you a shower stream in just a minute here. So we're gonna get rolling here. I did log in. We're good. There's not gonna be. I mean, there's gonna be a ton of action, but I'm not gonna be really needing to do all that much in order to complete this. What do I need? I think, I will. Yeah, she is amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna do Linda here a solid because Norman just smelled himself. Yeah. You need a shower? Okay. All right, we're gonna give him a shower just for Noob's mom because she deserves it. I think she's missed last week's streams, and I've been holding off on some Reedus pieces, as we called them last week or 2 weeks ago. Get him all cleaned up because he's going out on the town. We're gonna wrap things up. I don't even remember where I stopped and where I am. I must be in a safe room of something. Oh, I know where I stopped. I stopped at Capital Knot City. Yeah, that booty, right? And sometimes they advertise his rides show on that shower when they need to. Okay, so we stopped at Capital Knot City, and all we need to do is walk into the kind of ghost town. Handprints on the legs were for me. I love it. That is awesome. All right, so I probably don't need any of this stuff.
Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
But because the fighting is over, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't need any of these guns. I don't need any of these guns. We're gonna put some of this stuff away, but we're gonna bring the cryptobites or chirobites or whatever they're called. We're gonna have to hold on to them. So the basically what's going on here is again, if you're not familiar with this story, this is in storage. I need to take my stuff and put it in storage. Cryptobites is what we need to bring into the town that's off in the distance here, and we're bringing it to a friend of ours named Fragile. She has the ability to warp people into places which are kind of these limbo realms in between the living and dead called beaches. And she's been doing it so much that she's getting really weak, and it's taking a lot out of her. What is this thing? Oh, it's used. Okay, so we'll recycle that in just a second here. Man's got a lot. Oh, you have no idea. There is. Oh, I can't recycle, can I? Because the printer's down. Okay, we'll just put all this stuff in storage then. Yeah, it's kind of a fun game to figure out how much you can get on his back before he falls over. And when he does fall over, boy, you want to talk about a drama queen. Oh my goodness. He just really overdoes it with the drama. He's like my son anytime he walks into a doorway or something. Oh! He gets really dramatic. Sam Porter Bridges. All right, so we are bringing the cryptobites, which are kind of gross, floating little grubs, I guess is the best way to describe them. Little worm things that kind of float in the air, and Fragile likes to eat them. They somehow replenish your blood supply. Again, I don't know if you guys realize this game's made by Hideo Kojima, and it is weird. But it is a good kind of weird. It's a very good kind of weird. So, Sam here he's walked across the country and connected from Washington, D.C. all the way to probably, I'd say, maybe San Francisco, maybe L.A., I don't know. Some area in California. He's connected the whole line of the country into this network, and now they can all communicate. And he was doing it for his sister, what he thought was his sister, and what we found out in the scene before we stopped last week, that his sister is not really his sister. It's some kind of what's the word? Extinction entity. She is some kind of being that is trying to bring about the end of civilization. And his adopted mother, who was the president of the country, might be the one to blame. So we're gonna get a lot of story in this one. So try to if you're not familiar with the story, try to keep up.
Thank heavens you made it.
I definitely love the amount of people we're getting in here, and I'm glad that some of the people that were paying attention can see the ending. I hope seeing only the last hour or two of the story doesn't turn you off if you haven't played this before, because it is quite a ride from beginning to end, and the ending really is a nice payoff. Yeah, the other reason why I didn't do this afternoon is because I've mapped it out. It is a full 2 hours of cutscenes, but there is going to be a little bit of action. Sam is going to get up and walk around a couple times, and then we have something at the end that we have to do in order to move the story along. So it's not going to be completely just sitting and watching a movie, but I have called this movie night because it is going to be quite a lot of story download.
Sam.
You're back. It must have been one hell of a journey, especially on your own. But now the whole team is together again.
The whole team? Die Hardman too?
Too much traveling to and from beaches in such a short span. Chiral matter contaminated her cells, effectively causing jet lag on a molecular level. Because of that, her homeostatic mechanisms were shaken. Don't worry, she's not in any danger, but she needs some rest.
So where's the director?
He's being looked after in another room. Bridges personnel found him lying outside the isolation ward. Similar to when you came back from Cliff's Beach. Even after decontamination, she needed more and more time to recover.
Sam, you made it.
Hungry?
Thanks. Looks like you need me after all. I would have thought. Anyway.
Eating
Clock
gross
ticking.
bugs, yes.
Am I right?
Yep.
Sam's here. The Great Deliverer. The only one who can reach Amelie's Beach.
You're in no condition to do this. It's not fair to you or Sam.
In my own search for Amelie's Beach, I have come to realize something extraordinary. If beaches were likened to a multiverse, hers would appear to exist on a higher plane than ours. I can walk the beaches of others, but hers is beyond my reach. It's invisible, inaccessible, even to fragile, I fear. Imagine it as a circulatory system, if you will.
No.
Each of our beaches is a single capillary. But Amelie's Beach is the heart that pumps blood to the rest of us. Capillaries are subordinate to the greater whole. A whole governed by the heart, which gives direction, which dictates flow, which dictates everything, controls everything. Don't you see? She is in control. You may be able to travel against the flow and reach her, but having done so, if she does not wish to let you go, if she wishes to keep you, she can.
Fragile and die-hard men broke free from her beach, didn't they?
I don't think it was any different from what happened to you. I didn't get out because I wanted to. I was forced out, repatriated, if you will, by her.
Forced out. Why?
This is only a theory, but she wants you to go to her. That's her final wish, don't you think?
So that's it, huh? Amelie's the EE, and this is her endgame.
Extension entity, that's what that means.
Just so we're clear, if I want to stop the last stranding and come back in one piece, I need to go to her beach and talk her out of it. That about right?
Correct. As cliche as it sounds, you're our only hope. Though quite frankly, I doubt even you can change her mind.
If you can't make her see reason, you'll have to kill her. And if you kill her,
You'll save the world, but you'll be stranded outside of it. Forever.
That was a dream catcher that his sister made for him on the beach, which may or may not ever have happened. But, well, he's holding it, so I guess
Might
it
as well
happened.
make it official then. You ready to deliver the package?
Again, a lot of weird words
talk
floating
to her.
around there, so I apologize
She'll
if
listen.
it's a little confusing, but
But with the shape the world's in, it'll only be delaying the inevitable.
hopefully this will be at least
Still.
entertaining for you.
If it buys us time to try and build something better, a new lease on life, at least for a little bit. Well, I can think of one woman who made the most of a chance like that. Nothing lasts forever, not even the world. But we gotta keep it going as long as we can, right? Patch the holes, change the parts, all that. So we can say we had a good run, that we lived.
Thought you didn't like having to handle things with care.
Because it was hard enough keeping my own shit together. Back when we met at the cave, the only thing I cared about was making it to the next sunrise. Sure as hell didn't care about America or the future. I was living a lie, hung up on past regrets. I was broken. But somewhere along the way, I started changing. Started meeting people that made me think that maybe it wasn't all bad. People that put their faith in tomorrow, and in me. That kept the lights on, and waited for hope to arrive. So I gotta deliver, for their sake.
Even if it means you never come back?
Fucked if I do, fucked if I don't, right? Take care of Lou.
I will.
Couldn't find a working still mother east of Port Knot City. Kid's done enough. No more.
All right. I'll do my best to nurse our little one back to health.
So that is, it's not necessarily baby. It's called a bridge baby, which is basically a baby that is taken before it's born from a dying mother in vitro, or in utero, yeah. And they help
Concentrate.
link
Help me look for Emily.
the world of the living to the world of the dead, and helps people see the dead souls that are roaming the earth. And Sam
Reach
has
for her, Sam.
named his BB
Feel
Lou.
her. I know you love her. You love her. There.
I can only imagine what, not knowing any of this story, what this is looking like, but I'm really glad you guys are in for a ride. So this is Amelie. This is what Sam thought was his sister.
Here you are.
It's actually a reincarnation of his adopted mother, I guess you could say.
You want to go home? Let's go home. It's okay. I know the way.
Laura Rose says, "That's not the way, Mom." It's a helpful hand to walk along the sand for a while to find Amelie. So all throughout the game, there's all this imagery of dead whales, because that is actually what a Death Stranding actually is. It's where Kojima got the idea. When all these whales wash up on the shore, they call it a Death Stranding because they get stuck. But there's all sorts of different sea creatures that show up throughout the story. Crabs and fish and giant things, and he's gonna get tired. He's gonna sit down. This is gonna happen quite a few times, and we're gonna get a little story here and there.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
The last stranding has already begun.
Amelie?
You're too late. What took you so long?
Your voice.
You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
Sam. I knew you'd come back. Sam, listen to me.
Yeah, I forgot. Forgot about the sound and the jump scare. Apologize.
I love you, Sam.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach. I've been waiting for you, right here, ever since. You were supposed to stop me. Stop all of this.
Bridget?
Yes. It's me, Sam.
Where's Amelie?
Where she's always been. Nowhere. My daughter, Samantha America Strand, doesn't exist.
Amelie doesn't exist.
Not in your world. I'm sorry, Sam. I've had to wear a mask for so long. Amelie and Bridget are both a part of me.
What's this supposed to mean?
Quiet, and I'll tell you. There is no time for questions. Listen. Just listen.
I'm listening. I don't hear anything. Oh, because it's loading. Okay.
Do you understand, Sam? Amelie and Bridget, those are just names. What I am is an extinction entity. So, Knowing what you know now, you have two choices.
Was getting shot one of them.
You wouldn't come back if it happened here, you know. You'd be straight on to the afterlife. But no. It's not one of them. Killing you would be a terrible mistake. I know that better than anyone. The last stranding has already begun. A seam has formed from my beach and the beaches of every soul in America.
Look, I don't want to break the mood, but can
And
you
soon
imagine
it will
what
be
it smells like
inundated
with all
by a
those
vast
dead
surge
whales
of
over there?
antimatter starting here.
Oh, boy.
In a flash, this world will be no more. Consumed by an explosion. A big bang. So, that brings us to your first choice. Do nothing. Stay here with me, and bear witness to the very end.
Just watch it burn.
Together. With me. Until the last flame winks out. Doesn't sound so bad, does it? It's not like the world has long left anyway. Then there's the second choice. In expanding the network, you brought people and their beaches together, integrating them into a greater whole. Like this Kipu. But in doing so, you also bound them to my beach. The very beach where I opened the gates to the other side. You can't stop what's coming. But if you cut me and my beach loose, perhaps you can stop it from spreading. You might just prevent the last stranding. And mankind will live to die another day.
And it doesn't have to end here.
But it does. The beach is doomed no matter what. One look ought to tell you that. Which is why we must sever our connection.
That'll be it. The end of the Death Stranding.
You can't stop the inevitable. The sixth extinction will happen either today or tomorrow.
Can we at least say
Either
next
end it
week?
with dignity.
Tomorrow? Come on.
Quick, clean, and in a flash. Or you can struggle in vain, knowing full well what's waiting come the finish. Those are your choices. You kept it all this time. Perhaps you still have a chance to stop this nightmare. You brought the world together. You have the right to decide. Pull the rope or cut the noose. But whatever you do, don't hesitate. I'm ready, Sam Strand. Make your choice.
Wait. I don't know what to do.
Sure you do. After everything, how could you not?
A helpful hand. Press right to unequip to help Amelie. Okay. A helpful hand. I could have sworn I was supposed to shoot her though. Oh, right. The power of love.
I'm here for you. Always.
I forgot. There's always the power of
Like
love.
you were for me.
Just shoot her in the head.
Here. It's a dream catcher. Wear it when you sleep, and I'll keep the nightmares away. I'll always be with you. When you're all grown up, you'll need it to make us whole again. And when the time comes, you'll have to stop me. You are the only one who can. Promise you'll remember.
Well, I forgot. Sorry.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
I remember. You knew. You always knew.
I did and I didn't. I had so many dreams of the future. I didn't know which ones to trust. Which is why I decided to share them with you and the others. But to connect the dots, to make sense of everything, you need perspective. You need time. Time has no meaning to me.
Yeah, sorry for trying to shoot
I
you in
am
the head.
not a line. I am a single point. Which is why all I could do was just show you the choices and let you decide.
Our nightmares are your dreams.
You found the common thread, the strand that links them together. And you did that the only way possible. To live life one day at a time. Thank you, Sam. A gun won't help you here,
Apparently not.
but it still has a role to play.
True.
It was the bonds between people that brought the world together. And if that is what matters most to you, then I will stay here on this beach. And I will shut myself in and the rest of you out.
Shut yourself in. Come on.
Once the last stranding starts, it can't be stopped. I can't go with you. All I can do is try to spare you the worst.
Why do you have to stay on the beach?
Sam, I am the beach. And I must stay here and ensure that the extinction happens. Even if it takes tens or hundreds of thousands of years.
Alone?
That's what an EE does. If I had just done my job, none of this would have happened. And I couldn't take it anymore. I got so tired of waiting, and I figured that no one would blame me if I just got it all over with. So, that's what I did.
Sounds like hell.
But you and the others came together, connected. And you may be living on borrowed time, but you still have hope. Before each of the Big Five, life rebelled. They fought back, evolved in order to survive. The extinction isn't just an ending.
It's the beginning.
Opportunity.
Oh, okay.
And if I have to pay the price for that, to be the sacrifice, And so be it. Even if we aren't together, we will always be connected. Goodbye, Sam. A gun won't help you here. But it still has a role to play.
Alright, so we made a decision. I apologize. I forgot it was supposed to go that way. I could have done that a little bit more heartfelt. And I didn't. So sorry about that. So now Sam is he's looking a little weird. And now we're kind of stuck on this beach. And the credits look like they're rolling. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk around the beach. He's looking a little gray, yeah. And believe me, this story is not even close to being over. So we're just going to walk. And things are going to... He's going to get tired and sit down. And we're going to get little story bits here and there. So Amelie was an extinction event. And somehow she's tied to Bridget, who was the president of America. And was kind of his mother, but not biologically. So that's what we know so far on that front. We know that we've met someone named Cliff Unger, and we've seen every time Sam has patched into his BB, we've seen this memory of Cliff Unger and his dying wife, and Cliff is talking to the BB saying, you know, I can't wait until you're born, we can bring you into this world, I'm going to teach you all these great things, show you space and all these fun little things. And then we've met Cliff in various war situations. So we're going to get a story bit here, or are we walking? Okay. No, we're not. Yeah, we don't have anything just yet. And Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman, was our adopted mom. In the last, okay, this is a story bit, I think.
Quiet, and I'll tell you. There is no time for questions. When you were young, you used to have bad dreams. You cried about them all the time. The truth is, those weren't your dreams. They were mine. For as long as I can remember, I've dreamt of the beach. Not just while sleeping, in my waking hours too. In my dreams, I watched the world end so many times. Countless past extinctions that decimated life on this planet. Again, and again, and again. At first, I didn't understand what I was seeing or why. And that wasn't the worst of it. There were other, more terrible dreams. Dreams of death and destruction, of a massive extinction to come. Like this one. And I would always be the one to end it all. To bring about the last stranding. As I have today.
So I'll continue with just kind of a little bit of information about what we know so far. So this Cliffhanger fellow, we've got caught up in a hurricane 3 times. We got Dorothy'd, as I like to call it, and sent to this kind of Oz-like place where we had to battle against Cliffhanger in both World War One, World War II, and Vietnam, or maybe it wasn't World War One. It was like Korea or something. I don't know. And we found out that Cliffhanger did fight in the Middle East, perhaps in Desert Storm, or one of the other 1990s military fights. Oh, thank you, Laura Rose, for coming in. Thank you so much for sticking through part of this. Really appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. Have a good night. So the final battle that we did with Cliffhanger, at the end, he was looking for his BB. Of course, we had Lou attached to us. And when he saw Sam and the BB, he stopped fighting and he realized that he knew who his BB was. And he hugged Sam and he said, "You were the one who," I forget exactly how he phrased it. You were the one who's saving everybody. You're the one who's making this all possible, something like that. So there is some kind of connection, and Cliff gave Sam his dog tags.
The first operation, I was only 20. I opened my eyes and found myself on the beach. But the moment I came round, I was back in the hospital bed. I was split across 2 worlds. Bridget, my Ha in that one. Amelie, my Ka in this. Somehow, the 2 of us managed to coexist. Soon, our ages began to diverge. Bridget's body got older, while the beach kept Amelie's the same. So I came up with a story. I told people that Amelie was my daughter. A daughter with a debilitating condition and an absent father. Look. Amelie. Is French for soul. A soul that's a lie. There was no Amelie. Only me and the beach. I thought it was a curse in the beginning. But later, I started thinking, maybe I can use this. I tried to find out more about the beach. Because understanding the beach had to be the key to interpreting my visions of the future.
Are you asking if Amelie is lying right now? Or the fact that her name means that her soul was alive? I can't remember exactly. Run faster, Sam. I need more info. Yeah, when I played this the first time, I thought, oh, the credits. Okay, it's done. And I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I guess I'm just going to walk. And then eventually you figure out, okay, I guess we'll just do this over and over again. It was also late at night, and I didn't realize that there was like another hour or more of story left. Because you see the credits, you think you're done. Also, I'm going to try to track Bridget, Amelie, whatever her name is, while she's talking, but
the beach was connected to the
I
world
don't want
of
you to
the
miss some of the
which meant that
scene that's going on around him, but I also don't want to make it too dizzy.
Including those of every organism that had ever lived. 4.6 billion years of biological history, a history that might even stretch back to the creation of the universe. The chiral network and everything that followed was born from my pursuit of that knowledge. By passing data through the beach, we were unbound by the restrictions of time. Simulations that would have taken years or more were simple and effortless. Everything that the Earth had lost and forgotten could be reconstructed and reclaimed. But shortly after we began our research, America saw its first void out. I thought I was running out of time, that my nightmares were becoming a reality. So I raced to complete the chiral network as quickly as possible. The past held all the answers. If only I could find a way to piece them together. A network that bridged our world and the beach. That might do it, I believed. So I started researching bridge babies, children bound to the world of the dead. What causes an extinction entity to come into being? What was the reason for the previous 5 mass extinctions? The answers to those questions would tell me how to stop the 6th. I founded bridges, more determined than ever to build a chiral network that would cover all of America. But the longer I fought my war against the inevitable, the weaker I became. My Ha had cancer. The beach's punishment, maybe, for not playing along like a good little EE. And then, just like that, my Ha was gone. I couldn't finish what I'd started. So, I asked you to do it for me. And you did. You helped us complete the network. Helped us to reclaim everything the universe experienced from its inception to this moment. Every mystery was ours to solve. Like this one. Once, there was an explosion. A big bang that gave birth to time and space. Thing is, it was more like a big fluke. All that matter and antimatter should have canceled itself out, leaving nothing. But somehow a tiny speck of matter survived. Just enough. Enough to make this world and everything in it. A world that shouldn't be, a world out of balance. Order inevitably gives way to chaos. Everything that lives must inevitably die. It's like the universe is trying to return us to the nothing we came from. Maybe the Big Five were its best attempts to finish us off. But somehow, life always managed to survive just enough. Enough to thumb its nose at the will of the cosmos. You know, I'm starting to think that extinction might be the key to overcoming total annihilation. It forces life to fight to survive, to endure, to exist. That's why the Big Five ultimately rekindled life instead of extinguishing it. From the ashes of the dead rise the living. Stronger and wiser. Inheritors of the legacy of existence itself. They defy the universe and refuse to surrender. They say, we're just getting started. Extinction is an opportunity.
Yeah, it is neat how they reference that scene from the very beginning of the game, though. Where Sam sees the president and she's dying, crawls out of bed, jumps on top of him, touches him, and leaves a handprint on his body that he carries with him the rest of the game. Oh, almost sprained his ankle there.
Pulled the trigger twice that day. I knew at once I'd made a mistake. I found your beach and looked everywhere for you. Sam. There you are. You want to go home? Let's go home. I wanted to set you free from death once and for all. It's okay. I know the way. But in doing so, I upset the fundamental balance between life and death. I just wanted to save you. I am an extinction entity. It's my fate to lead our species to extinction. But that moment, you became part of that fate. You became a repatriate, and dooms started spreading my nightmares to others throughout the world. It was me that got you and everyone with dooms into this. Not long after, the Death Stranding occurred. The dead clung to our world, and BTs used my beach to cross over and devour them, triggering more voidouts. A catalyst that would set the world on a path to extinction. It was my duty to serve as a sacrifice, to wait and watch it unfold from this beach. That, or hasten the last stranding and end this slow death. Given these, my only options, I chose to end it quickly. But to trigger the last stranding, I needed you, a part of me. Here too. I would be able to witness extinction consummated with you by my side. But now that you're here, there's another choice. You can cut me off. An EE doesn't have that option for itself. But in my nightmares, I saw another future. One that you chose. One where extinction is hope against total annihilation.
Again, another roll of credits. Not necessarily meaning anything. But I believe that's most of Amelie's little walking around us and telling the story. At least gives you a chance to see who everybody was, if you didn't know. Cliff is Mads Mikkelsen. Fragile is Leah Sobieski, but I guess that's somebody else. So we have Troy Baker, Margaret Qualley, Tommy Earl Jones, Lindsay Wagner, the body of Guillermo del Toro, and also, what's his name? The other film director that plays Hartman. I forget what his name is. Oh yeah, of course, Conan O'Brien. A couple other fun cameos. So many names. And the hunter, Hideo Kojima. I don't remember any hunter. I think I said that last time when I saw the credits. I was like, wait a minute. Kojima's in this? This, of course, is Low Roar. They do a lot of the soundtrack in this game. And definitely worth using, because the mood that they paint with their songs really goes well with the scenery and the mood of the game. Edgar Wright's in here, Jeff Here I am. Where you going? Hello, I'm here.
I see him.
Marco. Polo.
Over here, Sam. Stand by. We're coming, Sam. You ready, my John?
Sam!
Take me to Sam.
Don't give up. You're still connected.
Oh, dead man. What a wacky friend. Oh, don't worry, that's still not the end. We're not even close. Still at least another hour. Well, maybe, I don't know. A full... Can't guarantee it's another full hour. But it could be. So Nightbot...
For too long have we lived as strangers to one another. Divided by walls built to keep us safe. But now with the completion of the chiral network, we may at last move forward as a people united. Today we come together to celebrate the birth of a new nation. A new nation for a new world. The United Cities of America. I once took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And though that proud republic may be no more, we remain. And so, as your president, I hereby swear to support and defend you, the people. Let there be no more walls between us, nor masks to hide who we are. Let there be a new America. An America where we can face one another, where we can speak our minds and open our hearts. The old ways die hard, but I believe, my fellow Americans, that we have the strength and the courage to rise above our past and embrace our future. The Death Stranding is a part of that past. An enduring shadow. A constant reminder of what could have been. That we stand here today is testament, not to the greatness of any one individual, but to our capacity to come together. To the bonds between us. To our collective greatness. All things must come to an end. Ourselves included. But as long as we savor each moment, find joy in the promise of tomorrow, embrace hope, and reject despair, we will endure. President Bridget Strand and her daughter, Samantha America Strand, sacrificed everything in their pursuit of hope that we, the people, might be whole again. That they are not here today to see the fruits of their labor fills us all with a profound sadness. But we find comfort in the knowledge that their memories will live on in the chiral network and in our hearts. We will always remain connected. There is another hero in this story. One whose achievements seem destined to go unrecognized. America still needs that hero. That person without whom we would not be here. The name is unimportant. But you know who I mean. And for that unsung hero, I have a message. It was you who brought us together. You who made us whole again. And while you and I will eventually pass on,
Please stay
Going
around
somewhere,
for the rest
Sam?
of the... He's talking directly to him when he walks
Unsung
over.
hero?
No, I'm done is all. She's gone.
Come on, wait. There's something I need to tell you. Huh. This doesn't bother you anymore? Well, that's great.
Okay.
Now, wouldn't you like to know how we brought you back from the beach? We were going to use the doll, but didn't have one handy, which is when I remembered something else.
Not what I think it is.
Yes. What could be more connected to Amelie's beach than President Strand's umbilical cord? Hartman thought that's why she left it with me in the first place. Unfortunately...
It didn't work.
Yeah, she'd already cut her beach loose. It was just gone. We didn't know if that meant she dragged you into the great beyond, or sent you to some other beach. We were really racking our brains. Hartman and Mama split up and started searching every beach you might feasibly have washed up on. We looked for a month with absolutely nothing to show for it.
A month on the outside. How long on the inside?
Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to know. But don't worry. We found no signs of accelerated aging. In the end, this is what led us to you. Just when we were about to give up, Die Hardman reminded us about the revolver. So, we tried to follow it, and it led us to a far corner of your own beach. And bingo, there you were. Mama made visual contact first. She was able to see you from her vantage point on the other side. She informed Lochna via their connection, and Hartman confirmed your location during his subsequent NDE. The plan was for Fragile to, in essence, slingshot Lou and me to your position, so we could rescue you. But it's not so easy to send multiple individuals to another person's beach for an extended period of time. And that's where the umbilical cord came in. We wove these from President Strand's DNA. They serve as a single knot that binds us all. The President must have known all of this would happen. Ironic, isn't it? The gun that set this whole mess in motion ends up being the key to saving you.
Amelie, she said it had another purpose.
Not a weapon, but a lifeline. A stick that became a rope. I suppose that's one way of putting it. Oh, Sam. You have no idea how long I've been waiting to give you a hug. Got something else to tell you. Top secret. It's about Cliff. BB's mother's name was Lisa Bridges, Cliff's common-law wife.
Lisa Bridges?
Now, Cliff was killed by a man identified in the record.
Of course, he's gonna give him a hug as soon as he can.
Former U.S. Special Forces. Quite good at it by all accounts. Later appointed as an aide to the president, who used him for most of her wet work. The records go on to state that he vanished after Cliff's death. A warrant was put out, but he was later found dead. Turned out some people die harder than others, though. Dear John donned a mask and reappeared with a new identity. But you can't fool the chiral network. We restored the old records, and Mama hid them deep in the archives. You're the only one besides us with access privileges. Take a look if you're so inclined. But don't say I didn't warn you. The President's got some dirty, dirty laundry. I don't trust him, but I'll work with him if that's what it takes. We'll talk later.
Sam. I don't expect you to forgive me. But would you hear me out? I killed Captain Clifford Unger. I would tell you I did it for America. For love of country. But I didn't. I did it for her. Because I loved her with all my heart. She was everything to me. Everything. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses. I just want you to know that not a day's gone by when I haven't thought about it. Time didn't help. Or the mask. Please, let me finish. The captain, saved my life. You know why they call me Die Hardman. Because he wouldn't let me die. He brought my sorry ass back home every time. And I loved him as much as I loved her. And when he stared me down, that ghost, I knew he was here to kill me, to make it right. And why shouldn't he? Why didn't he? He couldn't save his kid, his baby. And that's what brought him back.
I guess when he saw I was trying to do my part for America, he remembered who he was. And he forgave me. God! But I don't deserve it, God damn it! There is no atoning for what I've done. Damn, God! But maybe this is the next best thing. Maybe he brought me back from the beach for a reason. One last time. He wanted me to do this. To keep on being Die Hardman.
No. He didn't. Nobody wants a president who acts like they're immortal. And if you're not scared of death, how can you value life? And life is pretty fucking fragile right now. And yeah, the old ways die hard. But that's what's gonna have to happen if we're gonna come together and build a better America. That gun won't help you here. That's her words, not mine.
Thank you, Sam.
Hey, Sam. Been waiting for you.
Lou?
Dead? Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least. The decommissioning order finally came through. Can't risk necrosis. The body can't stay here. I thought you might want to take care of it. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. But that would be in direct contravention of an executive order. And there are laws about that kind of thing, now that we're a nation. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But if the alternative is defying the president, I can't do that either. Not me.
All right. I'll go to the incinerator.
Before you leave, I'd like to check something quickly. I just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. I trust you'll remember what I said.
Right, absolutely. for everything. How's the weather?
Don't think you'll be needing an umbrella. I decided to follow my father's dream after all. Don't worry. I won't get mixed up with any terrorists this time. UCA's got my back. We're the first private delivery company to get the official approval.
Sounds like you're moving up in the world. Congratulations.
Thanks. Wait. There's something I have to tell you. I didn't shoot Higgs. Couldn't pull the trigger. So I let him choose. Death or eternal solitude on the beach.
Fair enough. You never did like breaking things.
That's right. I find and fix what's broken. And reconnect. I'm fragile.
But not that fragile.
Yeah, we get it.
Wanna come work for me? Could use a man like you.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
What isn't? But we're still here. We're still chugging along.
Not everyone. Not me.
Come on. You put America back together, didn't you?
Doesn't mean there's a place for me. I've got no ties to anyone or anything. I might as well be dead. I felt like that when we first met in the cave. I still do.
Don't act like you're the same person. You've learned how to touch, to feel. You've connected with people. With us.
Everything I touch, I lose.
Sam!
Come on, Lou. One last delivery.
One last delivery indeed. So we're going to take the BB to the incinerator. We have been told that we are offline. We are not being monitored right now. Therefore, we can do whatever we want, really. There's the BB's theme. A very, very pretty song. Yeah, why isn't there a... Should be a ladder up here. There's a collectible up there. I'll come back and get. So a quick jog up to the same path we took in the beginning, from this building here to the incinerator to dispose of the president's body. We are contracted to dispose of the BB's body before it goes into necrosis, which is the bomb state that dead bodies go to in the Death Stranding. But as Dead Men said, there's a couple of things that Sam could do before he uses the incinerator now that he's offline. So we'll see if he does anything like that. do want to point out also that we have another probably 30 minutes of cutscenes, I think. We're gonna still get a little bit more story. Take BB out. I can't do that right now. It's not to say that it's not gonna happen. Moving the camera around to provide some scenery here. Probably gonna end up running into a rock or something. The one thing I did want to mention was there is they do something funny here with the post game. Essentially, after the final bits of the story are told, the rest of the game, the post game, is played essentially like in the week before. Die Hardman makes that speech that we watched him make when he gets sworn in as the new president. So it's a weird time warp that they do, but I guess it made the most sense in order to be able to allow you to go and do these premium deliveries and get collectibles and be in the world with mules and BTs still around. So regardless of whatever happens in this story, there'll be plenty of time to hang out with our BB Lou. There'll be plenty of deliveries to make, and BTs to see, mules to fight, and collectibles to get. And there are tons and tons of emails and interviews, plenty of story. If you really want to take the time to read it, I am curious if people would be interested in me going through some of those emails. I imagine it's probably not something that people are like thirsty for to read, all the lore. I think these cutscenes probably do enough to give us enough of a lore download to understand to a point what the story's about. Let me make sure I'm going the right way. I think I am. Oh.
This is on me.
This is on you, yeah. Can I not see the map? I'm fairly certain I'm going the right direction. I certainly hope I am, because that would stink. It would waste some of your time. I definitely appreciate the time that you've put into watching this ending so far. Hopefully you were able to stick it out, because it's almost over. There's the incinerator. And we're heading in the right direction. And as we move towards the end of the story, I am going to work on premium deliveries. I am going to stream this game for a few more weeks. I may do a lot of it offline, but I definitely will try to show as many of the trophies and as many of the conclusions to some of the prepper stories and things like that. I'll try to bring all that to the stream.
All right. I guess we're here.
Linda says, this has been a great game with an amazing storyline. Thank you so much.
Poor thing.
Glad you were
was
able
never
to
truly
catch
alive.
up with it.
Not in this world, at least.
Thanks for everything.
Child special. One of a kind.
A BB cannon.
Either that, or
A sacrifice.
A foundation. A bridge.
Brought you an astronaut. Mankind can go anywhere, even outer space. You'll be out of there in no time. And the second all this is over, I'm gonna take you wherever you want to go.
May remember some of these as memories that we saw earlier from
Can I help you?
the BP's perspective.
Holy shit. John, is that you?
Captain, what are you doing here?
My wife's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year.
The Void Out in Manhattan. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were the husband.
This isn't what we agreed on. You said you'd do everything in your power to save BB.
We are. But we cannot release your son just yet. Believe me when I tell you it's for the best.
This is a woman in a mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
I have a duty to protect our country. Lies are an unfortunate necessity.
The President gave me the highest level access privileges. I've used them to manipulate the security system. We have 5 minutes before it resets, sir. 5 minutes to talk. Off the record. Take BB and get out of this place. There's nothing I can do for your wife. I'm sorry. You were my commanding officer, but I swore an oath to the President to protect her and the country at all costs. Now, if she orders me to do something, I have to do it. I have to. But I served under you first. And your family doesn't deserve this. Any of this.
Why are you helping me? If they catch you.
Because you saved my life, sir. Again and again. When the brass sent us into the jaws of hell, it was you that brought us home. Back then, I thought I was invincible. I thought I was some kind of action hero. But I'm not the hero. You are, sir. You're the reason I'm still alive. And it's past time I paid that debt. They're moving your son to a new facility tomorrow. You'll never see him again. He'll serve as the foundation of a new communications network. A sacrifice for a nation that no longer exists. I wrote down everything you need to know. It was the only way to keep it off the system. Burn it when you're done. The rest is up to you, sir. I believe this belongs to you, sir. Now, I can't terminate your wife's life support from inside her room. The system won't allow it. So, this is the only other option. An alarm is set to go off if she flatlines. I've rigged the system to spoof her vitals. But you won't have long. 5 minutes, tops. Don't hesitate, sir. This is the only chance you'll get.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But again, to live in a world where you're kept on life support because if you die, you're more of a problem than if you suffer for the rest of your existence. So he's just trying to help his wife move on.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Don't worry. I'll take care of him. I promise you. Promise you. My hand, Melissa. BB? BB, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Daddy.
It's another scene we've seen before. So we have to pick
cufflinks offline.
the cremate option to
In that
move
state,
the story along.
There'd
but-
be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. But that would be in direct contravention of an executive order.
Bit of a fake out there for a second.
A purpose that cannot fulfill outside the pod. There is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it.
Let's go find Cliff.
Freeze! Hey, put it down! Drop it! Put it down!
Back off. Back off!
Get him! Don't do it! I'll handle this. I'm sorry, Captain. Don't! You got it! You two! Stay there! And hold your fire!
Thanks for trying, John.
Stop! Step aside, sir, or we'll be forced to open fire.
It's a dead end. He's trapped. Security will take it from here.
So how Sam is in this scene, I've never been able to fully understand, but it's pretty interesting.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I screwed it up. I've ruined everything.
This room is off limits. No one goes in. But he's in there, sir. I saw him. You saw him. Now check the other way. Go! Yes, sir.
No, open it up deep inside.
Move, dumbass.
BB. Don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out, there's no pretending. I will hold you and protect you, so let love I found out I was gonna be a father, I was so scared. Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you, and your mom. No matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed anymore. Couldn't leave you all alone. I couldn't.
Get off of him! Now!
I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared. It made me brave. I'm sorry. Sorry it took me so long.
Captain, look at you.
Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Oh my God.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John.
Let it go. Please.
Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
You told me your name was Sam Porter. But you're Sam Bridges. My son. My bridge to the future. Without you, I was just like any other Cliff. Dead end. No way forward. Nothing but an obstacle. Looking on at the world people like you were trying to build. Dividing people was the only thing I was ever good at. But are you Sam?
Yep.
You bring people together.
Sam is the little baby that's in his arms right now.
To the future. And mine. Come on, Sam. Stand up. Not BB2.
No, 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 no!
Yeah.
Sam. There you are. You want to go home? Let's go home. It's okay. I know the way.
There you are. Welcome back.
You understand his days as a BB are over, now that his connection to the other side has been severed.
It was me who cut the cord. So yes.
A deathless repatriate in the world of the living. Should we decommission it?
him out of the pod. I'll raise him as my own.
Come on, Lou. Wake up. Come on, Lou, wake up. Come on, Lou. Come on, Lou, wake up. Wake up. Come on. Wake up! Wake up. Lou.
So I was right. It was a little bit over 2 hours of story. So it's a lot to process. Lou survived, absolutely. Sam was, I guess, the original BB, or at least gave Strand the idea, because he was not yet ready to be entered into the world, as he sat in that kind of incubation tube, I guess, while his mother was on life support. And he's a repatriate because Bridget brought him back through the beach as her alter ego, Amelie, or whatever. But there's not an easy way to explain what all that was. But I think in the end, I think it's a really nice payoff. It's nice to see the interaction between Cliff Unger and Sam. It's nice to see the that storyline get wrapped up and understand exactly how this whole thing started to a point, and where everything kind of played out to, you know. And Lou, we don't really know Lou's origin, but we know that Lou's future is with Sam, and I think that's what matters. One thing that kind of gets, I think, lost in the story, I think we have heard Sam's wife's name before. I don't remember what it was, but Sam's wife, we've only ever seen in a picture that was ruined with timefall at the very beginning. But he and his wife were going to try to start a family, and unfortunately she didn't make it through the story. I guess she passed away before, well before the story starts. Just keep that in mind. I think if I hit a button, it will end the credits, and we'll see the very final end credit scene here, which is just a very quick one. Yeah, why don't we try to do that? Let's see what happens here. As great as this, as important as it is for credit to go to those who deserve it, yeah, it's actually not letting me do anything anyway, so we are gonna have to let it go. And I'm sure parts of this stream are going to be muted at some point, because I know this is one of the artists that every time I tried to put a Death Stranding scene in with their music, I would get copyright claims. So, and if you notice at the end there, it was regular rain. It wasn't timefall rain. Sam wasn't affected by it. Lou wasn't affected by it. And then the last shot is the rain going away and a rainbow coming out. So it's a story about hope for the future. Now that everything is connected and the extinction event has been avoided, and it's a shame you get muted when it's part of the game. Yeah, I mean, who's to say if it actually will happen? You know, who knows? Twitch might not mute him. I might need to mute. Well, I'll probably need to mute this part, or I'll probably just cut this part out when I put it on YouTube. But oh, the song does play. This I couldn't remember if it played in the credits. This is one of my favorite bands, and the song is called Death Stranding. This is the only song from the soundtrack that you can't actually listen to in one of the safe houses. But it's the whole reason I bought the game in the first place, because I absolutely love this song and I love this band. This is a band I've listened to all the time in the past year during the pandemic, because they find a happy medium of singing sad songs in an upbeat way that kind of it's a nice way to rise above, you know, the anxiety of what happened last year and being shut inside and everything. It has a certain uplifting quality to the music, and Lorraine's voice. Wait, Lorraine? No, Lauren. Lauren Maysbury. The band is called Churches, if you didn't know. So yeah, I did forget that the song actually was in it. I always complained that you can never actually hear the song that's called Death Stranding in the game Death Stranding, but here you go. So it's 1:58 in the morning here. We're going to be wrapping up as this credit's over, and I'm just going to show you basically how they resolve the post-game. We're just going to find Sam in one of the safe houses, and then we'll end it there for the day. There is one tiny bit of information that I would like to get to as soon as these credits are over. So it's an insane story. And I really think the ending is a really decent payoff. Again, there's a lot that doesn't make sense, but not everything needs to make sense. But the whole reveal, which is kind of revealed a lot earlier if you're really paying attention, that Sam is Cliff's baby. And why he calls it BB, I can't remember. I think it's something about I don't know if he's. I think Mads Mikkelsen's character is supposed to be like Danish or something like that, and I think maybe he calls it his BB because that's either the nickname that he gives it or it's just a term of endearment or something. But they end up using those to be the initials for Bridge Baby. I'm just gabbing away here at this point. I'm just waiting for the credits to end because I can't just do anything else about it. So I don't have a PS5. I don't have any options to get a PS5, and I probably shouldn't be spending any money on a PS5 even if I do. But I'm very curious to see what changes are made, what additions are added in the director's cut when that comes out in about, I think, a month and a half. Very excited. I'm hoping that if I can't get my hands on it and play it and show it to other people, I hope somebody else does, because I would really love to see what changes they make, and if it's just kind of these little things added for the delivery part of the game, or if there's anything added to the story or anything else.
Louise.
There you go. Louise. So that is the final bit of information for the story. I don't remember if his wife's name was Louise or if the name they decided they would give their daughter, if they had one, was Louise. But that is Lou's name. A lot of this a lot of these stats we'll be diving into a lot more in the post game. Like I said, I hope to bring as much of that to you as possible, but I also thanks for everything. I don't want to take up too much streaming time working on every one of the 80 premium deliveries that I need to do. Some of the collectibles I'll probably get off stream. Some of the premium deliveries I'll do off stream, and definitely working on getting the grade, especially for the delivery time and for the miscellaneous, up to 60 is pretty time consuming. A lot of fun, but I'll probably do some of it off stream. But I will bring bits of it to the streams on Wednesday nights. So here we go. Episode 15 tomorrow is in your hands. That is the post game, 2 weeks earlier, basically.
Good morning, Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
Well, look who's awake. Morning, Sam. You'll be happy to hear your vitals have stabilized, and that you're well on your way to recovery. Not that it's your fault, but what I wouldn't give to trade places. We're all stuck in the president's office, working like dogs to get everything ready in time for the inauguration. But at least one of us is still free as a bird. You should head out. Make the most of it. Could even do some orders if you wanted. Might do you good to get back in the game. You may recall it was raining buckets back when you left for Amelie's Beach. We took a real beating at the time, but we've done our best to service the structures and vehicles in the area. So you know, any cargo that was stored in your private locker at a damaged facility should have been transferred to your private locker here at this distro center. Anyway, busy or not, we'll still be on the end of the line if you need us. And if you want some alone time, we should be able to manage for now. Just make sure you're back in time for the big day, all right? See you then. Hey, Sam, you sure you don't have any unfinished business?
And so there you go. So that's the post game. Basically, you could play this for another 80 hours, and it will still be a week or so before the cutscenes that we watched, where Die Hardman gave his speech and then broke down out in the hall and said, "I'm sorry, this is what I did." And then Sam had to bring Lou to the incinerator, and we got all those backstory bits. That's basically how they resolved that. All this is before all that, and we get this lovely model here for this giant catcher creature that we fought before we arrived at the Capitol, and ton of information to read. I'll just show you. We're not going to read any of it right now, but there's the chiral artist mother and the chiral artist. People excited, and then this guy's telling us he's got upgrades for our grenades. There is a trophy for reading 100 emails. Why I haven't gotten it yet, I'm not sure, because I think I've read every email, but I guess we'll get more emails as we meet more, as we work on getting our star levels with each prepper to 5 stars and things like that. So plenty more to do. If you're in it for the trophies, plenty more to see, plenty more to experience. And there's also a ton of story and backstory and just musings and interviews in this bit. There's pretty much everything that happened with Higgs is in here. He tells his story and all that kind of stuff. And Higgs is still around. We will never see him, but we will be able to deliver him some pizzas because he is also known as Peter Englert. He's the guy that we delivered pizzas to. Like in one of the very first streams, I think, we delivered him a pizza. So he is the same guy. And we are going to, probably in the next stream, probably next week when we do it, we're going to go into his living quarters and see where he lives and see all that stuff. But that is much less important than getting the story downloaded. Noob's mom says she absolutely loved the story, and that yes, Peter Englert loves his pizza, which is awesome. Okay, so that is where we are at the moment. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I think it's definitely been enough of content here with 2 hours and 40 minutes of some big story reveals and the ending of Death Stranding. And as I said before, that doesn't mean that Death Stranding is completely over for our channel. We will be working on it from time to time, and probably the next 4 or 5 Wednesdays we will bring Death Stranding to you, and we'll be trying to wrap up and get close to that platinum trophy. So thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you saw something you liked. Hope you learned something. Hope you can visit us again. And thanks so much. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.